Nakapaglaro ka na ba ng tumbang preso? Kung lumaki ka sa Pilipinas, for sure na pagdaanan mo yon. Nung mga araw na pwede pang maglaro sa kalsada ang mga bata, kapag hapon may sigawan at tawanan na at may mga lupilipad na ng mga tsinelas. It represents a childhood spent barefoot when joy was improvised and friendships were deeply forged in play. I am Mona Magnovilus. I hunt down ancestors and chase fascinating stories in Philippine history. While there is no exact recorded date of when it was created, historians believe tumbang preso has been around since the Spanish colonial period. Translated literally, the name means fallen prisoner. The mechanics are incredibly simple, requiring only an empty can and your everyday slippers. One player acts as the it or taya guarding the tin can, while the rest of the players stand behind the line and take turns throwing their slippers, called the pamato, to knock the can over. Once the can is knocked down, it is a mad dash to retrieve your slipper before the guard can reset the can and tag you. Whoever is tagged becomes the new taya. Some scholars say that this chaotic, innocent canto game we all played as kids using an empty tin can and a trusted pair of slippers was actually a symbol of Filipino rebellion. It represents revolutionaries trying to free a captured comrade. Knocking down that can or that prisoner reflects the Filipino desire for freedom against a colonial master. It actively symbolized our country's struggle for independence, brilliantly disguised as everyday child's play. Its history and origins may be vague, but the reality is tumbang preso is a cultural ritual that reflects our core Filipino values. It was our very first lesson in discarte. The game naturally taught us agility, timing, speed, and street-smart strategy. You had to calculate the perfect angle for your throw, communicate silently with your friends, wait for the exact moment the guard was distracted, and sprint for your life. Kailangan maganda at mabigat yung tsinelas mo para hindi masisira pag tinapon. There were rarely any formal winning conditions or referees. Instead, the game ended in very Filipino ways. When players got too tired, when somebody got a little too bruised, or when our parents started calling us home for dinner. It was pure analog community bonding. Today, however, our streets are getting much quieter. In our fast-paced, increasingly digital world, the presence of these traditional canto games is fading. Children are swapping their physical play spaces for digital screens, and the offline moments that used to build our communities are becoming rare. For those of us who value these offline, meaningful experiences, we have the power to keep these traditions breathing. We can still slow down, step outside, and rediscover what it means to just have fun. So when was the last time you grabbed your favorite pair of flip-flops, gathered your neighbors, and actually played? Sana may mga barangay na magpatumbang preso tournament naman dyan. Honestly, I am hoping for the resurgence of the Pinoy Canto Games. Let's make it happen. O diba?
Meow meow.